Hi everybody, it's Kristen and Phoenix. We're here to update you on life with a 6-week-old Phoenix. He's been here for 6 weeks. It's incredible to think about. So we're actually at the end of his 6-week mark. So we've gotten through 6 weeks with baby Phoenix, and I guess when I was trying to think about, how do I want to talk about this week and how do I want to talk about how things are going, part of me was thinking it was a great week, and part of me was thinking it was a tough week. And so I guess, what I can say for that is just that I think that's life a lot of times, is that there are definitely moments that are really tough, and those moments are also surrounded by moments that are really wonderful. So I do feel like things are starting to go better, like with Phoenix's sleep and everything. But last week did have some challenges. So I know that I mentioned in the last video that I'm pumping milk for another mom and her baby, and my milk supply has definitely increased because of that. But the problem is that Phoenix is actually a pretty good sleeper at night. We're working on daytime sleep, but at night he does pretty well. And so with my milk supply increasing, it meant, he will sleep for a stretch at night. And so I guess it was Monday night, Tuesday morning, he slept really well, like for a really long stretch. I guess he probably didn't get up till like 3 or 4. And I woke up with one side just really in pain, like hard spots and just lots of milk, lots of hard spots. And it was just not a nice thing. And I had that like hint of bad things to come feeling when you're a nursing mom, which is feeling really fatigued, like more than just the normal I'm a new mom fatigue, and then a headache, and just feeling not feeling good. And I actually got out of bed at my normal time. I nursed him and then left him in bed with Scott, got up, and I ended up going back to bed after I did my Bible time because I just felt so horrible. And I'd actually forgotten that Scott and the kids were supposed to go to a Japanese lesson that morning, so I felt really bad. Fortunately, Scott hadn't forgotten, so he got out of bed and got everybody up because he said he figured if I wasn't getting up, I must feel bad. So I got up probably a half an hour before they left, and thankfully he kind of gotten everybody together. The little one stayed with me. It's kind of unfortunate. In the summertime for Japanese lessons, he can take everybody because they go to Japanese lessons at a library in a town, probably about half an hour, 45 minutes from here. And the librarians there are, I don't know, I guess they're just not, maybe my kids really are troublesome and bothersome, but I don't think that they are. But they don't seem to like my kids because my kids make noise, which seems strange to me because kids make noise. So in the summertime, there's also a park right there. So Scott takes everybody, and he just takes the little ones to the park while the older kids have their lessons. But when the weather's starting to turn like it is now, it's just not as much fun to be at the park because it's right there on the bay and it's cold and everything. So anyways, he had to leave the little ones with me so as not to offend the librarians. And so that was a little bit tough, but it's usually okay when the little ones are here because they usually will occupy themselves pretty well with some of our toys. Or if push comes to shove, I can put a video on for them. But I just really felt bad. I just didn't get much done. And there was a lot of periods last week, I think, because I didn't get much done. And then I actually did a lot of work for a promotion and made lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of updates to a sales letter for the promotion. And then my editor lost everything. And that was like, I just threw in the towel on last week, which is not a good thing to do, but I had already felt bad, and, I had worked, it was actually kind of Tuesday morning that I tried to putter, and I saved and everything, so, we're talking like hours of work and saving, and for some reason, every update that I made that day, the updates from the day before stayed, but every update I made that day just gone. So that was a really rough day, but it really had nothing to do with Phoenix. It was just life. Fortunately, Tuesday night, I guess it's not fortunate for him, but he was a little congested, so he kept waking himself up. So he was up like every hour to nurse. So I got, really, really emptied out. And then since then, actually what I've been doing is I don't have an audible alarm, but I have an alarm on my Fitbit go off at around 3 or 3:30 because I want to try and have Phoenix nurse then, so he will stay asleep until we do family Bible time in the morning, because I want to be able to get up and do my Bible time and leave him in bed if at all possible. So I want him to be full so he will sleep through that period for me. So that's why I have the alarm go off. Well, what I've been doing since that night is I've actually just gotten up and pumped, because usually he's slept through at that point, or else he nursed like right after we got in bed. But usually what he does now, this has been his pattern for a few nights, it might change, but what he's doing now is he's nursing a lot right before bed. So in the evening, he's kind of cluster feeding, which is pretty common in the evening. And then right before bed, he's nursing for like an hour straight. And I think and then I put him in bed, and I haven't tried taking him, like putting him to bed before me yet. I just come to bed when I bring him to bed. So I put him in bed beside me, and usually he's asleep. Sometimes he might nurse a little bit more, but he's been more asleep, and then he sleeps for a good long stretch. So I've gotten up to pump because I ended up with a lot of milk, like 4 to 5 ounces from each side, which is a lot to be able to send to the little baby that I'm pumping for. So that's kind of the pattern, and it works because it keeps me from getting too full. And then I come back to bed, and he usually is still kind of snoozy. He usually wakes up a little bit later. Then he nurses to full. And then what seems to work is getting him up at like 6:15 or so when I get the other kids up for Bible time. This worked really well this week, was getting him up about then, sitting down and nursing him while they're waking up and coming out front. And then I've been able to put him back in bed. A couple times I put him back in bed with Scott, and then I also put him in bed with the rock and play. So, or put him back into the rock and play. So anyways, I feel like we've been making progress on his sleep, and I'm at least pleased with the morning routine for the most part, and I've figured out like how to nurse, get my supply increased without being in agonizing pain or getting mastitis. I actually asked about it on a Facebook group of girlfriends that I'm on, and one of my friends said that the same thing happened to her when she was pumping for a friend's baby. So I think it's just like maybe boosting extra milk in your body, which is a blessing, but you don't want to hurt for it. So anyways, I should go ahead and say that what I've been doing is, so he nursed him around 6:15 or so and put him back to bed. And then I pump again before he gets up to eat, which is usually 8:30 or 9 a.m. And so I've been pumping again and then nursing him again. Pretty much right after pumping because of when he wakes up after that pumping. But doing that, pumping in the night, and then in the early morning, I've been able to get quite a bit of milk. Like I said, at the nighttime, 4 to 5 ounces from each side. Last night he nursed like right before my alarm went off, so I only got like 2 ounces on one side, but the other side still quite a bit. But 4 to 5 ounces on one side in the night, and then still like 3 to 4 ounces on each side in the morning, just because that's when my supply is the highest. And then I let him just nurse for the rest of the day. And if I feel full at night, like in the evening, I've pumped again, but I don't get nearly as much, like just a couple of ounces, if that. But it's worked nicely to do that middle of the night and then the early morning, and then just let him nurse for the rest of the day and not worry about pumping, because it takes time to pump too. So anyhow, I feel like we've got a good routine down. We've been able to give quite a bit of milk to this little fella who needs it. I haven't met him, but I hope to at some point. I actually feel really shy about it, which is kind of silly because they're clients. I never met this client because, being out on maternity leave and everything, I didn't end up in the office when she was. And I kind of feel shy about it, which is silly because I don't usually feel shy at all with clients, but anyways, I'm looking forward to when I would like to meet them at some point, because kind of, Phoenix's little milk brother. So anyways, that's how pumping has been going, and that's how Phoenix sleeping has been going. all of that's really good. I still feel like diaper situation's good. He finally pooped. I think I was waiting for a big poop last week. He finally had a massive poop, which I managed to catch in the potty. And then he had another massive poop this morning after he had like he went not so long. It was like over a week last time. He went not so long this time, just a few days. But he had another big poop, and I actually missed that one because he must have done it in bed this morning, right before we got him up or something. It was huge. So I greatly preferred the one caught in the potty because that one was way easier to clean up. But I should probably get like a little bit of a baby probiotic, or else I need to get really religious with taking my own probiotic, which I haven't been. I have been being really good about taking my prenatal, and I've also been taking a vitamin D supplement, and I've been doing much better about taking those. And I've also, I know I talked about it before, I think, bless you. I don't remember if I brought it to show you, so I'm going to go grab it to show you real quick. Okay, so this is the tincture that I've been taking. Let's see if we can get it to where it will actually show it. And it's from, as you can see right there, my camera's not cooperating. It's from Earthly, and it's their immune biotic tincture. I took it for like 2 weeks at the end of pregnancy, and then took a little bit of time off, and then took it for 2 weeks again, and then took time off, took it again, and now and then another time off, and now I'm taking it again because I feel like this is what probably helped that ickiness not turn into mastitis both times that I've had like really sore tender spots and have felt kind of flu-like symptoms coming on, but it didn't turn into mastitis. And then this cold that my family has had, I feel kind of guilty because I've been hoarding it, but I really don't want to get sick. I have some herbs to make an immune tincture that I really need to tincture, but after I do those and we use that up, I'm probably just going to order this again. I got this as a bonus with the Ultimate Healthy Living Bundle, and like I said, I've been really, really impressed because I'm talking everybody else in the family has gotten sick. And 2 times I've kind of felt those mastitis symptoms, but both times, you know, it was just that one day of feeling icky. And I did rest and nurse the baby and everything you're supposed to do, but I really think that this is a good quality tincture. So I'm a fan. So that's from Earthly, which is Kate Teegee's company. And so, like I said, once I do the tincture, the homemade tincture with the herbs that I have that I just haven't had a chance to get tinctured, but after we use that tincture up, because I will use that for the whole family, I'm probably just going to buy the Earthly tincture because, again, I've been really impressed. I feel like it's helped a lot. So I've been taking that again in my prenatal vitamin. But let's see. Otherwise, what's been going on? We had a nurse visit last week, just a few days ago, I guess. And Phoenix was 15 pounds, 11 ounces. So he had gained 11 ounces in about a week. So he's still chunky. That makes me feel good because I know even with me pumping, he's obviously still getting plenty. She actually brought a sheet too for, you know, what to expect from your 1 to 2 month old and your 2 to 3 month old. And it was talking about, you know, we'll gain 5 to 8 ounces a week. And well, he gained more than that. He's off the top of the growth chart, which is really interesting. I've had a kid who was off the bottom of the chart and one off the top of the chart now. So just a really interesting experience there. But he's doing real well. Like I said, I feel like it's so interesting, the dichotomy with a new baby. And I guess that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, is things can be really tough. Like there are times when he's crying or when I'm just so tired of having to hold him all the time, as cute as he is. As cute as he is. But then there are other times when it's like, I can't even count the ways that I love being able to take care of him. Like, the nurse, I'm sure, she's got this form of questions that she asks to assess and make sure that mom's doing well, that there's no postpartum depression or anything. That's why they come around. But, she asked, what do you enjoy about your baby? And I'm like, how can I even count the things, or what can I say that doesn't sound totally stupid? I mean, I love the way when I lay him down on the changing table to change his diaper. I love the way he kicks his little legs. I love his little feet. I love the way his feet look with little tiny socks on them. I love his face. I love watching him interact with my older kids. I don't like dressing him, as in the physical act of putting his clothes on, because he does not like being dressed. But I love picking out his outfits and being able to get him dressed every day. I love putting him in the baby carrier and being able to do things with him snoozing on my back. There are so many things that I love about a newborn, but at the same time, it is really hard. It's really intense. And so that kind of dichotomy is very real, and I want to share it because I know a lot of moms feel guilt about it. And I don't think that we need to feel guilt. I think that if you're starting to feel stressed most of the time, that means something needs to step in and change. I feel fortunate that most of my stress is from outside of Phoenix, and I feel like he's actually calming down. He's been pretty chill this entire time that I've been talking, which is really nice. I think he's starting to settle a little bit. But, so there is stress in my life, but it's not necessarily related to Phoenix, and I feel like overall I handle it pretty well. I had a couple of meltdowns last week, like I said, because I felt really horrible, and then my, a day's worth of work when I didn't really feel like working anyways, and I had pushed my brain, it's not easy to do that stuff. It's not easy to write a letter like that. So, I had pushed my brain to work on that, and then it's just gone. And so, yeah, I had kind of a meltdown there, but Scott's like, you need to calm down and settle down, and I don't know how ultimately helpful he was, but he was trying. So, yeah, so there is, and sometimes it is baby stuff that's frustrating. One thing that's helped me, I think I mentioned this last week, but one thing that has helped me is I've been sitting in my office chair a little bit more, because when I have the Boppy and Phoenix in the office chair, I can still kind of work. If he falls asleep, I can still type, whereas I can't do that if I'm in the recliner. So I haven't spent tons of time in the office chair yet, but I have spent more time, which has enabled me to get some work done, which feels good. And, otherwise I've just, I've tried to take it easy and realize he's settling, he's going to get there, he's going to be able to do things. And I've definitely also been grateful for my older kids and Scott being willing to walk with him and, not feeling guilty. Like yesterday, I wanted to do a little bit of writing, and so I asked one of my kids, will you just walk with him? Because I knew he was grumpy, didn't want to be on his own. So, and I took 20 minutes to do my writing and didn't feel guilty about it. So those are the kinds of things that I try and do to take care of me, to make sure that I keep enjoying him. But overall, I've been really trying to make sure that when there's a positive experience and a positive feeling, that I let that, be positive. And so, Phoenix is a huge blessing, and I'm so happy to have him for so many reasons. He's a baby, he's a blessing. I still kind of feel on top of the world that I dreamed about who this little person was, and then this little person came, and it was actually that person that I dreamed about. So anytime there's this tendency to get really negative about him, or, not about him, but okay, he won't let me put him down, and I haven't been able to put a baby down for ages, and that can get stressful to anybody. And so I've been trying to focus on, I'm just going to enjoy him, and I'm going to let myself enjoy him and let myself just revel in the fact that I got what I wanted. I got my baby, and he's just so sweet and that sort of thing, and not feel guilty if I let somebody else hold him or whatever. Because moms can do weird things. You can beat yourself up. I asked for this baby, and I wanted this baby, and I got this baby, and now I'm mad at this baby, and I'm such a horrible mother. Don't do that to yourself. If you're doing that to yourself, ask somebody to help you with the baby, because taking care of you is good for you too. But anyways, things have gone really well. I'm not going to do anything cute on the end of this video today just because I need to go record a podcast now. But I did want to say that we've started a new chore system. We actually started it a couple of weeks ago. I may have mentioned it, but it has what are called responsibility chores, and then there's incentive chores or ticket chores, which are chores they can earn tickets for, which have a cash value, or they can be traded for other things. So we implemented the responsibility chore part of the system a couple of weeks ago, and then we implemented the ticket chore part of the system just a couple days ago. And so far that's been going well. I think I might have to make some tweaks, but maybe not. I'm going to give it a few more days. Oh, you don't get chores yet. Give it a few more days, but if y'all are interested in seeing that, because it is a system that I bought, I could do a review on it, or I could mention it on a call or on a video. And then also, I know that I talked about us kind of switching our homeschool day around so that we were starting on Sunday, and that went really well. I feel like there's a few things that I need to do to tweak that, but I can talk a little bit more about that and how I'm balancing all of that too. The other big thing, and I'll talk about this next week, is that I've got my 6-week postpartum appointment, which he'll actually be 7 weeks for. And then I also have a home visit for a client and an appointment for a primary client. So I'll be back in the office and go to the home visit, which technically means I'm on call again. The mom's not due for about 4 weeks. But again, technically I'm on call. So I got to figure out how to get all of my stuff together so that it's ready to go if I get called in the middle of the night. So I might talk some about that next week. But overall, we're feeling really good. It's been an up and down 6 weeks, but overall, really a blessing. So just, I hope that you enjoy a little taste of what real life is like, and also that there are so many blessings, even when it's okay if there's hard times. And I will talk to y'all next week. I hope that you have a blessed week.